Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Chief Minister, sir. The program conducted here, the first Amravati Summit of World Population Day, is wonderful, and we all are glad that this is being attended. I'm Dr. Pravalika Tirmanisetti, gynecologist from Government Hospital, Vijayawada. I'm Dr. Pravalika Tirmanisetti, gynecologist from Government Hospital, Vijayawada. As a young working woman, I have this question to ask the state government. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Please,
I'm Dr. Pravalika Tirmanisetti, gynecologist working in the Government Hospital, Vijayawada. As a young working woman, I have this question to ask the government of Vijayawada. What are the states that are planning to help the young couple who want to plan pregnancy and have children but can't do because of financial crisis? తెలుగులో అందరికీ అర్థమయ్యేలాగా కొత్తగా పెళ్ళైన నూతన జంటలకి వాళ్ళు ప్రెగ్నెన్సీ పిల్లల్ని ప్లాన్ చేసుకోవాలన్నా కూడా ఆర్థిక సమస్యల వల్ల పిల్లల్ని ప్లాన్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఆలోచిస్తున్నారు. దీనికి గవర్నమెంట్ ఏం చేయాలనుకుంటుంది?
ఓకే అమ్మా, ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు చెప్పింది ఒక ఇష్యూ. అది నేను పనిచేస్తాను, ఎట్లా పాలసీలు తీసుకురావాలి, కొత్తగా జనాభా నిర్వహణ పాలసీ తీసుకొస్తాం, అందులో ఈ సమస్య కూడా అడ్రస్ చేస్తాం. మీరు కూడా మీ సూచనలు ఇవ్వండి, నేను అవి కూడా తీసుకొని చేస్తాను డెఫినెట్గా. అంటే ఒకేసారి అన్ని పాలసీలు కూడా ఒక వ్యక్తికి చేస్తాం, కానీ చేసినప్పుడు అది సస్టైనబిలిటీ ఉండాలి, అది ఉపయోగపడాలి. డెఫినెట్గా మీరు ఇచ్చిన సజెషన్స్ అన్నీ తీసుకుంటా. ఎన్ని వీలైతే అన్ని సమస్యల్ని పరిష్కారం చేయడం కోసం మనం అందరం కలిసి పనిచేద్దాం డెఫినెట్గా అమ్మా.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the valuable insight, and also thank you, CM sir, for the launch of poster. Now it's the time for QR things. నేను మీకు ఇందాక చెప్పాను, ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళ టేబుల్ మీద QR కోడ్ ఉంది. We also have Wi-Fi. ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు లాగిన్ అయ్యి ఆ QR కోడ్ స్కాన్ చేస్తే a little survey. ఇందాక నేను మాట్లాడుతూ చెప్పిన మాట, మేం చేసిందే చేయాలి అని ప్రజల మీద రుద్దే ప్రభుత్వం కాదు ఇది. ఇది మంచి ప్రభుత్వం, ఇది మనందరి ప్రభుత్వం. కాబట్టి ఈ పాలసీ మీద కానీ, ఈ ఆలోచన వ్యవస్థ మీద కానీ, వాట్ ఆర్ పబ్లిక్ థింకింగ్, జనం ఏమనుకుంటున్నారు అన్నదాన్ని ఎంతో హార్దికంగా స్వీకరిస్తుంది రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం. దయచేసి కూర్చున్న వారందరూ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ అ లిటిల్ సర్వే. మీకు క్యూఆర్ కోడ్స్ ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. ఆ కోడ్స్ని ఒకసారి మీరు స్కాన్ చేసి, there are a few questions. Please answer the question and please fill in your details. I hope I'm all clear. For the English version, we have QR codes given being displayed on each table. I request all the participants to fill the questionnaire and provide the valuable inputs. ఇది జరుగుతున్న ప్రక్రియలో I invite Dr. Jalal M. Tafasi, Chief of Field Office, UNICEF Public Health Specialist, to summarize the key points from the talks by the three experts.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and Honorable Chief Minister. It is a delight and an honor to be with all of you today. I've been given the task of summarizing what has happened this morning, and I must say that it feels as if a UNICEF person has written almost all the speeches, because it has been a very child-centric and very forward-looking contributions that have happened. And if you give me an opportunity to quickly summarize each of the sessions, we've had excellent speakers from Dr. Rajiv Achaya, from Dr. Prakasama, and Dr. Subramaniaman, who took us through data, information, reasoned arguments as to what should happen within this policy. Without question, every single one was in agreement that a draft policy that is really integrated with society, that has the opportunity for consultation and a really thought out passage would be an ideal document. And the fact that you've just launched a draft policy says the kind of commitment you already have for that kind of consultation. Second, there was significant data that was mentioned by the various speakers that referred to changing times and the numbers in terms of the fertility rates. One common thread across all the speakers was that declining fertility rates is not a local issue. It's not just in Andhra, but it is a global issue. And I am summarizing and paraphrasing. And within that global issue, there were also good examples that were taken from different countries that are going through these kind of changes in an attempt to marry those lessons from the countries that are facing those declines and what we are looking at today. By and large, there were really good points, especially that were noted from Turkey, that showed that pro-natal policies hardly ever changed the game, but also highlighted that the kinds of economies that we're talking about are very different from our own and where we stand today. That those economies are already developed, that they're already standing on multiple years of developed status, but this is not changing the picture. There was also really good inputs from Dr. Prakasama, who emphasized that we take caution in developing a new policy, but she stressed, and I know she didn't have a whole lot of time at the end, but she stressed the importance of investments today in children, in systems that look after children from early childhood to skilling in adulthood, in adolescence and through adulthood, as a way to gain the most out of the population dividend that we could have. And I must say, this is completely in line with UNICEF's thinking and UNICEF's approaches. There was significant echoing that happened about the investments that are required also from Dr. Subramanian, who really even gave us the points to consider upcoming and new data as part of our consultations, that we should look at NFHS 6 and upcoming data points in order to formalize the thoughts around this. From a perspective of investments today in children, there are many questions that come up, and you will give me permission to go off a little beyond what has been discussed from the UNICEF perspective. And this is about investments in children today. The brains that will power this economy in 20 years' time are being born now. And honestly, that is the most important investment we could make in order to achieve the population dividend. But what does that mean to invest in it? And if we were to ask everybody here, everybody will have a different opinion. But that investment means that we need to look beyond traditional approaches to our healthcare, to our care for children, for education, for protection, and we need to take a look at how we break the systems forward. Childcare needs to be, as my friend already mentioned, Dr. Sohani, who alluded to the demands and the aspirations of young women, to be looked after, to be supported through pregnancy. But we make the point that today in our state, 24 to 26 neonatal deaths per 1,000 live births. 24 to 26 mortalities of under 5 children, that is the current state. That is per 1,000. Then you add on stunting rates. 31% of children on average under 5 are stunted. These numbers imply that we need to strengthen the quality of care that allows us to maximize the potential from this youth, that would also encourage better family-friendly policies, because those are required. It is not enough to provide cash incentives, to provide handouts, but to really create the systems that are supportive at the community level, at the family level, to take the concept of parenthood not just from the perspective of the mother, but the whole family, the whole community. We do not have the traditional structures of the extended family that we had decades ago. That is changing. We are shifting a lot more to the nuclear family. But that nuclear family, for it to thrive, needs to feel safe, needs to be invested in, and needs to have the space in order to work. In practical terms, coming back onto the structures that we already have, our Department of Health, WCD, education, they're all functioning at maximum capacity and they're really trying to make those happen. But there are gaps that we still need to be able to work. One is helping the marriage of data between different systems and allowing different departments to work together to maximize the investments that we have. The little investment that goes into these departments today could have the maximum benefit for children if it is utilized in a coherent and multi-stakeholder fashion. The child needs to be at the center of the game. Dr. Suhani mentioned the woman, the young lady should be at the center, and I'm adding on to say that a child should be at the center of that focus, which will be the one that gives us the maximum benefits. In doing that, investments that will highlight the future would be the forlorn skilling on the brains that are born today. We give them the maximum components. Skilling for adolescents for a future world is an important component. And I believe this was already alluded to by Dr. Subramanian, who mentioned on the qualities and the requirements for a future economy. He has seen that in the data he mentioned from Japan, from Hungary, from France, but that suggests that if we are able to take care of the child from here and follow through in a life cycle approach, you will have the maximum benefits. And we're looking forward to helping to enrich this draft policy collectively, I think from the conversations that have happened, to ensure that we give the maximum benefit to the future through investments today. Thank you.